Hey there, hey, and welcome to this Thursday pod of Born to Be a Star. Today is Thursday, another day, another opportunity for you to recognize your star power. Another day for you to recognize that you can do anything you set your mind. So let's say it to ourselves. Yes, I can. Yes, I can do crossword puzzles. Yes, I can heal from the surgery in this hospital. Yes, I can join the choir team at church. Yes, I can do gardening in the backyard. Yes, I can finally clean out the closet and get rid of crap I don't need. Yes, I can sit down on the couch and watch this series and relax. Yes, I can let things go that I don't have any control over. And yes, I can learn a new language and try something out that's different. Yes, I can learn how to knit, learn how to sew, learn how to make jewelry, learn how to draw, learn how to sing, learn how to do anything. Yes, I can get through this very tough time. Yes, I can try to do better. Yes, I can reach for the stars. And yes, I can be a star. See? Yes, you can. No, I'm not ever giving up, because if you ever give up, you're never going to get to the end of anything, just like John Cena says, where he goes and he celebrates kids that have make a wish because they're sick. You can't ever give up either, because if you ever give up, you can never give up, because if you do, you'll never get to the end, which is the good part. So you always have to stay focused, and you have to stay cognizant with your life and where you are in your journey, and you have to know that you can't give up. You have to stay strong, regardless of all the other people around you trying to knock you down or trying to belittle you or trying to be abrasive. You have to be strong. Sometimes it feels easier to run instead of dealing with something, but sometimes you really have to let things soak in, let who people actually are soak in, and just move forward. You can't change people, you can't change situations, and you can't do a job that's not your job to do. So don't give up because something's not going the way you want it to go. Just use that as energy to continue on your fight for life. Finally, why not today? Because being indecisive and procrastinating doesn't get you anywhere. I'm the first person to tell you about my indecisiveness, where I think something and then I have to ponder on it forever to do it. And that's unhealthy and it's not correct, and I've had to stop doing it. In fact, I haven't done it in a while. So I'm staying away from indecisiveness, and I'm not doing that because it's not healthy. It isn't. You are a star wherever you are, and I'm just here to tell you that your reflection in the mirror is beautiful, handsome, amazing, and incredible. And I'm just here to tell you that you can't let anybody stop you from your calling, from what you actually love, from what you like to do. That could be anything. That could be cleaning up the floors in a elementary school, or it could be fixing the clothes in a Forever 21. Whatever you love to do, talking on the phone to customers with customer service, fixing people in a doctor's office because you want to be a doctor or a nurse, working in the financial field because you want to talk to people about stocks and bonds and you want to be a money manager. Whatever the situation may be, you have to follow your calling, and you can't let anyone stop you from that. That's what this podcast is, an awareness of your greatness. Let's get to some headlines with no media allowed, no media allowed, no media allowed, because they lie to us anyway. So there's been a lot going on with Mayorkas this week. He's been called out for his failure on the border of the United States of America, and it's about time. Also, Biden can't really hide all the things his shitty son is doing, so there's that too. Excuse my French, but I meant to say my French, so I ain't taking it back. I cut loose here, so we gonna cut loose here. Joe Biden is the worst president in American history, and I know we've had bad presidents. I'm just gonna call him out. Bush, all he cared about was a war. He's a war-hungry mongrel. I'm not saying everything he did was bad, but I'm saying the war part, the stupid decisions that he made led to Obama, and all the stupid decisions that he made led for Biden to be on course to put us into hell. I know many others will argue about Trump, but when Trump was president, gas was $2. When Trump was president, the housing market was normal. when Trump was president, your salary was decent and you didn't feel like you were living paycheck to paycheck and you were trying to figure out how you're going to afford to pay this or that. You weren't trying to figure out what job you can get to afford your student loans, okay? That was Trump. Things are not getting better here, okay? The stock market's in denial. They're moving toward a new variation of money. The government is, and in case you didn't know, I've been telling you for weeks, if not months, money is on its way out. And I know you might be thinking, no, it's not, but it is. And I know you might be thinking, why would they do that? I know you might be thinking, there's no way that that's going to happen, that they're going to get rid of cash. But they want to do a digital currency, and that is coming. And once the government does a digital currency, there's nothing you can't buy that they won't know you're buying. I mean, I'm personally not someone that's buying anything illegal anyway. I can't have a gun where I live. Having a gun license in the state I live in is stupid because you can't use it. If someone comes onto your property in the state I live in and you shoot them, you'll go to jail and they'll be free. They've created a way for criminals to get away with being criminals, and just normal Americans can't do anything. So there's that. Yeah, questionable, right? How is it that they're attacking Donald Trump and his family, but no one's talking about Joe Biden and his family? Like 6 plus 9, how many is that? 15 people are legally responsible for having money, from taking money from China. And there is a China police station right in the United States. There's a Chinese police station, and they finally arrested the people. It took them this long to arrest them. How didn't they know that? There's secret agents here getting all sorts of information, and you morons are still on TikTok. I told you about social media, but nobody listens to me, and I'm not the only person talking about this. There's Ben Shapiro, there's Jason, there's what's his name? Dan Bongino. There's Fox News with Tucker Carlson and Jesse Waters and Fox and Friends and The Five and any other show you could think of, not to mention Greg Gutfeld at 11 o'clock, Laura Ingraham. And I'm not telling you about these people because I'm Republican. I'm telling you about them because they are talking about the facts. We need factual news and details that you're not going to get on these leftist programs, right? Because they don't provide that. They just lie and sugarcoat everything for Biden. Biden is a criminal, okay? Him and his family take money from China to do things that China wants. Why are we not calling it the China virus? It originated from a lab in Wuhan. And do you know that the new information is that it came out twice in Wuhan? Twice. They put the world's people's lives in danger because they wanted to mess around with things they shouldn't be messing around with. And Dr. Fauci still won't shut the hell up and go away. And this is just Thursday. Knowing your voice, which leads into why you have to fight back and fighting the power. That's why we're having this conversation. Boom track. Like, how long are we going to listen to Biden lie and his bitch sons and his cocained out Hunter? Like, he's got videos on his laptop getting naked, trying to get with his secretaries and his dead brother's wife, and just the most ridiculous things ever. And we're not calling that out. Like, why is it every Democratic president that does something is not a big deal? Nobody wanted Hillary Clinton. Do you know why she lost in 2016? Because she's a horrible politician. She sucks. I don't even really think anybody wants Michelle Obama. Like, does Michelle Obama want to leave her glamorous life of pretending like she had kids she didn't have and pretending like she's done something so great outside of writing books and getting some crappy Netflix show from Oprah? Come on. These people aren't speaking to the masses. These people are speaking to their base of rich elites. It's not to the everyday person that owns a house and works at a job. And if for any moment or second you think it is, then they've already caught you and you're in the matrix and you took the blue pill and you're not aware of anything that's happening and they're playing you like a video game and you just don't know it yet. You think you're free, but you're not free. They've already got you. I consider myself a female version of Neo, or I guess I could be Trinity. But I definitely took the red pill. I'm definitely awake and I definitely know what's happening. It's already happened in this country. They like autocracy and they want power. The elite want to take everything away from you to the point where they want you to eat bugs. But that's not going to happen with me. I'll fight them till I'm dead. And even if I'm dead, I'll come back as a ghost and continue to fight them. And it's not just me saying that. It's a lot of people. My children are not going to grow up on social media with a goddamn iPad in their hands and they can't talk to each other or do math. So they will be going to private school. There's that. They're also growing up in a Catholic church because that's the way they're supposed to grow up. The one thing my parents did right is I was always in church. Me and my brothers were always in church. This is where we grew up. That's how you're supposed to raise your children. They need to have something more than just themselves. They need to have God. They need to have a connection to that. You need to get them involved, have them volunteer. These kids that are running around Chicago, acting amok, hitting people because they're white, and then nobody records that. And then we want to act like it wasn't an accident that 84-year-old white man shot that black kid that came to his door. But then we're not going to talk about but he's still alive. We're not going to talk about the white girl that got shot in New York in her car. That's not news? No, that's news. You just don't want to talk about it because it doesn't fit your narrative. This is bullshit. I'm calling it like it is. I don't have a reason to lie to you. I tell you nothing but the truth here. And I'm calling the government out because somebody has to. And it can't just be Candace Owens and Ben Shapiro and Matt Walsh and Michael Knowles all the time. And Jeremy that's on Daily Wire. And it can't just be Dan Bongino. And it can't just be Tucker Carlson and Laura Ingraham and all the reporters at Fox News. It has to be more of us. It has to be more people speaking out against this. And until everybody can see exactly what's going on, nothing is going to change. Because this is called the Uniparty. And there's more independents than there are Republicans and Democrats. That should tell you something, right? This is a fight that isn't going to end. It is going to be like something worse than Mad Max. We're going to have to buy water. It's going to run out. What do you think's happening in California? Outside of that, we need to hold them accountable. And how do we hold them accountable? Well, here's how we hold the GOP accountable. If you don't do your goddamn job, you're not getting elected into these roles anymore, motherfuckers. There's that, okay? Let's just say it. Kevin McCarthy, all the things you said you were going to do them, or you're getting taken out of your position. And all the votes that you need to do things, you're not going to have them. So you're just going to be sitting there like a smuck. There's that. And also, Mitch McConnell, he needs to get taken out of that position and just retired already, okay? If anybody needs to be removed from office, Mitch McConnell needs to go. And there's a bunch of other rhinos that need to just be replaced. Because we don't need people on the Republican Party that are not fighting for Americans. This isn't the Republican Party that it was before. The Republicans cannot be the way they were before because these Democrats are crazy. They're far left progressive lunatics. It's not as simple as they're normal people. They're coming for you. Anything that you hold dear to your heart, any family that you love, anybody that you love, your husband, your wife, your daughter, your son, your aunt, your uncle, your niece, your nephew, your dog, your cat, your child, your neighborhood, your job, the school you went to, the college you went to, whatever you hold near to yourself, they're coming for it because they don't want you to have anything. So the GOP caving to the Democrats and me watching Republicans say they're going to work together with the Democrats. No, we're not doing any more bipartisan shit. Anything that Joe wants to pass isn't going through the House. He needs to be a duck president with nothing to do. And anybody that's in the Senate shouldn't sign off on shit. No, the Republicans aren't helping the Democrats with anything. Mitch McConnell passing that ridiculous thing that he just did for $2 trillion back in the beginning of the new year, we can't forget he did that. We can't forget who they're actually working for because it's not us. How are you a Republican working for the Democrats? You're not a Republican. And for a very long time, I believed both sides were crappy. And so I was undecided and I was unaffiliated. And I'm tempted to go back to unaffiliated just because I feel like I don't really want a side. But I'm willing to stay Republican just so it could help the Republican Party get rid of Joe Biden. But I'm telling you, their intent is evident. They want to take over everything. And they're not going to stop. Joe Biden's brain is dying and we're watching it. We're witnessing him have memory loss. He can't talk. He can't explain anything. He has dementia. And it's not funny to watch. He has really bad dementia. He has every level of deteriorating brain syndrome, okay? That's what happens to elderly people, especially at his age. We know he shouldn't be any way, shape, size, or form running for president. But it's funny that a Kennedy is running against him. I absolutely find that hilarious. And I'm with it. I think he should. Let's go. Reporters need to get the boot. And I'm tired of listening to the reporters. I mean, I listen to a lot of Daily Wire and I watch Tucker Carlson every night and Jesse Waters. So I get to see the five through them because I would never watch it on my own. And when I'm looking at these clips of these morons on that show, I'm just thinking, why are you here, man? Why? Why do you get a voice? You're not saying anything. You're just another dumb smuck. And I'm sick of these dumb smucks that have all this money, that are living in a bubble, not in reality, while I live in reality, and I have to overpay for everything. Me and my husband want to buy a house, and we can't find a house that's reasonable. We're both too college educated. Well, I'm in a master's club, but whatever. We're both two college educated young people who rationally look at how we're spending our money. And we cannot justify overpaying for property that's not worth it, because you're going to be stuck with a property that you overpaid for, and that's idiotic. So we don't want to do it. But there's many others that are jumping and doing really stupid things, but we're not going to be one of them. So we have to sit here and still live in an apartment, and we've been more than ready to find a house forever. And we just can't find one that's meeting up with our values and what we want. So we'll continue to sit here and wait, because, it's better to wait and be smart to jump and be stupid. I'm just saying. The reporters suck. They're not asking the correct question. Parm Jean-Pierre, whatever her name is, I can't stand her. She's a moron of morons. Doesn't answer anything. And when she's faced with factual details about numbers and the fact that Joe Biden keeps saying that our economy is great and it's in the shreds, no. I'm going to leave you with one thing here. Bricks. I talked about it before. America isn't what it used to be. And the world hates us. And there's no way to fix that. They're going to continue to hate us because we think we can go around the world and implement our insanity onto the world. In the majority of the world, they're not okay with trans things, trying to indoctrinate children, and they're not okay with insanity. Like I've said, I don't have a problem with gay people. I don't have a problem with adults doing things on their own time. But the moment you bring children into it, I have a fucking problem. As a teacher, as an aunt, and as a soon-to-be mother at some point, whenever I get around to it, I can't imagine allowing that to happen to my child or my nephew or my niece or anybody that I loved as a kid. As a teacher, I cannot imagine not teaching kids, which is the entire reason I left. Because it's not about teaching them, it's about numbers. And you find that out very quickly when you're giving them a test and you start to realize that they're not reading at grade level and you witness the teacher put them up a level anyway because that's convenient for her district in her classroom. That's when you know something shady's going on. And trust me, it's shady. And let's not forget Donald Trump. He's an innocent man. They took him off of Twitter. Elon Musk has given him, the ability to go back on. But why would he go back on now? I mean, he has Truth to Social, which is kind of a great app. I like that I can say whatever I want there. And it's a different vibe. It's not that I don't like Twitter, because I like Twitter too, but it's completely different. He really doesn't need to go back on Twitter. But if he does, good for him. If he doesn't, good for him. Brags, and I talked about this all week, is willing to let 4 guilty people go away from killing someone in the army and injuring a mother's husband. But he's willing to tell her he doesn't have enough money to go against 4 suspects in the murder of her child. But he's not willing to stop insanity about going against Donald Trump with nothing. We are watching the end of the United States of America live, front row. This is going to backfire on them. Braggs needs to be fired. He needs to resign, and these people need to go. Not only him, the entire Manhattan District's Attorney Office needs to be demoralized and needs to be wiped. Not just that, but these politicians need to go too, right? You have been chasing Donald Trump since 2015, and it is 2023. That's 8 years. Okay, 8. I'm tired of hearing about Trump. I find him entertaining. I know other people don't, but I don't really care. I voted for him in 2016 and I voted for him in 2020, and I don't have a reason admitting that. I am a Republican. I was unaffiliated. Before that, I was undecided, okay? I was never Democratic. I registered as undecided as soon as I could at, I think, 20. And then a couple of years ago, I switched it to unaffiliated because I just felt like I don't really want to be a part of any of this. So honestly, stop chasing Trump because it looks desperate and you don't have anything to talk about. And the fact that you fuckers are going against the great Thomas, who is a Supreme Court justice, claiming that he did some things he didn't do just because you don't have anything to talk about, shows that you're weak, man. And it's only Thursday, so I can't wait till we have a conversation tomorrow because I just wonder what you're going to say about him tomorrow. You're the losing team because no one in their right mind is going to vote for Joe Biden. It's over. And if Ron DeSantis wins against Donald Trump, and I'm not saying he will, get the casket out and just ship Joe Biden off in it. Or find a way to get one of your bought media critics to hide everything and act like nothing happened. Because when you want to pretend like Joe Biden didn't say anything, then you let one of these House people come out and claim he didn't mean it like that. No, but he did mean it like that. I have been criticized and compared to Hitler. I have. And I'm German. And I drive a Volkswagen. And I love my ethnicity. And I love the story of my past. And the elders which created me, right? I'm proud of my past, and I'm proud of all the races that God made me. But that man stood with red light behind him and called me and my brothers and my sisters the problem in America while he destroys it. He needs to be gone. And Donald Trump or Ron DeSantis need to take him out and show him what it is. This is our country, not yours. And if you want to do this to another country, then go move somewhere else. Because it's not happening here. Well, how about you just all go to Canada? I mean, that place is just basically gone anyway, so just go there. Moving on from this extended version of no media allowed, no media allowed, no media allowed, because they lie to us anyway. I had a lot to talk about. It's been a long week. Anyway. And Skip wanted to be a part of that. Today is Thursday. We are celebrating our 11-year anniversary, a week after our actual anniversary.
Yeah, make it one.
Shut up, idiot. Because my job's annoying, but everybody's job's annoying. So, whatever.
Mine isn't.
He loves his job. I
don't love my job. It's just as good as work will get.
I do not feel like that at all. I feel like people at my job hate me, but it's okay. But I'm smart. I'm in the Masters Club. I'll survive. I'll figure it out. I'm not going to complain about my job because I still have to go back there, and I'm happy I have one. But it's not a great feeling when you work somewhere and you can feel that people are being haters. But I'm not talking about that. He was just involving himself in the conversation because he always does that. Let's move on from no media now to what this podcast is called, Unexpected Beauty. I think that the unexpected beauty is tied into what I was just talking about. I've made myself look at things differently so I don't get caught up in negativity and like a wormhole of darkness and defeat and chaos, and I can't do this and I can't do that, and I'm tired and I feel like how is this going to happen or how is that going to happen. I don't want to be that negative person, and I don't want to instill in myself, no, I can't. See, when I say yes, I can at the beginning of this podcast, I'm not just saying that to say it, like I mean it. And I want to mean it in every way. I want to be different. And so to be different, I have to work harder for that. An unexpected beauty is finding beauty in things that you didn't really notice were beautiful. Like, there was something so breathtaking about the Easter visual that I went to for church when I became part of St. Peter Cathedral. St. Peter Claver. It was just this feeling of awe, and it took my breath away. I don't even really know what words to say to describe this feeling. I felt like I was exactly where I needed to be, and everything at that moment in that time when my name got called and I said who my saint was, Joan of Arc, made sense. Like, it all makes sense. Like, I'm supposed to be here. God is calling me here for a reason. And sometimes things can get difficult and you can get weary and you can feel sad and all these things. But you have to understand that you have to see the beauty even in the pain. I just told you about how I don't love my job and my job doesn't always make me feel great, but I still go to it. I just told you about how I really feel about it because I'm not going to lie about it. There's an environment where people don't understand how they sound, and then they want to reverse that on you and make you feel like you're the problem. I don't know if the person's just being very direct or that's how they talk. I'm not okay with people talking to me certain ways, and maybe I'm too over emotional, so I have to take a step back and wonder if it's me or if it's them. I'm a very happy, energetic person, right? I'm a bright light. I have energy. I am a very talkative person, and I'm forced to be in an environment where people don't appreciate me. So it makes me feel like, why am I here? If you're in an environment like that, you probably need to leave. Like, why should I encourage or inspire or do all these things just for you to come at me and then say something incorrectly to me. Like, I could seriously be avoiding that, which I probably should do. But I'm not going to let the fact that people suck ruin my day. Because that beauty I told you about that I found at church on the Sunday visual, where my husband's parents were there, my mom showed up. It was really a family affair. It was really amazing. It was me showing that when you really focus and you believe in something, anything is possible. And that's exactly what it was. Trusting in God is a beauty that it's just unexplainable. It is an unexplainable, unexpected beauty. He allows you to see flowers differently, and he allows me to just not really care about background noise and people that don't matter, because it's not about them. It's not. There's beauty in everything, in moments in time and conversations and people and places and things. There's beauty in it. My mom is recovering in the hospital right now, and God woke her up, so that's good. Um, I tried to tell her on the phone just a little while ago to see the good in everything. Everything happens for a reason. They were trying to remove something from her, and they couldn't get it out, so they have to give her 6 weeks to do the surgery again. And she said she was crying, and it really hurt that my mom said she was crying, because, like, why is she crying? It's probably because my auntie just died in the hospital not that long ago, and it probably sucks to be in the hospital. But luckily, my brother was able to be there with her, and luckily, um, she's able to really not be alone in this. I had to tell her that you have to look at the good. You have to see the light, and you have to know that you're going to be okay. Because it's so easy to get caught up in the negativity, and I almost got really negative. And I'm like, but you can't get negative. Like, drink water, be healthy, try to eat, try to get better. And then, whenever they tell you to go back, just go back and get the procedure done again. Like, all you can do is try. That's all you can do. You can't hurt yourself or be mad at yourself that you can't do something the first time. Sometimes that's not how life works. It isn't. Still no affordable houses. I talked about that earlier in No Media Allowed, about me and my husband looking for a house that we can actually afford, that we don't want to pay a ridiculous amount of money for, and we don't want to spend a ridiculous amount of money fixing it. I don't know if that's going to happen. We're looking at condos, but I'm thinking maybe we need to look at houses too. This is difficult. And, like, am I going to be at this job forever? Am I going to be in this location forever? Like, granted, I want to, but you never know what's going to happen. Nothing is permanent. So that plays a role into, where do I want to work? IDK? Question mark. There's no affordable houses. These houses are overpriced. Honestly, I'd say wait for this housing crisis, because at some point it's going to come back to normalcy. It's not there right now, and you don't want to overpay for something that's not worth what you're paying for. You got to be careful with that. What's the new book? I don't know. I'm looking for a new mystery right now. I really got to finish that mystery that I was reading. I'm really looking for something interesting, like a mystery. I really don't want a story that's like, I don't know. I have this book about some stranger in a house that might be good. I like horror. So, like, anything that's like scary, horror, mystery, that's going to get me intrigued and I'll read all of it, I'm all about that. We'll see what happens. A livable wage. Do you know what a livable wage is in the United States? $48,000. If you don't make $48,000 or more, you don't have a livable wage. So that's news. And you know how I came up with that? I looked at a statistic, right? And I looked at the math. Honestly. Honestly. If you're not making in the 40Ks, you're not living. You think you're living, but you're spending all this money in taxes, and after that, you're not living. And that might make you wonder about your current job or career or what you're doing or how you could be living better. Maybe you should look for a remote job. Maybe you should look in another field. If you're lucky enough to have a college education, maybe you should be looking at something that definitely pays you more than whatever you're making. Because living in this economy is difficult enough, and you want to make sure you're living a good attainable life, like something that's actually affordable. But a livable wage is 40,000 or more. I say between 47 and 48. That's where you can pay your bills and live. If you're not making that, you don't have a livable wage. The master's club. That's when a person has a master's degree and they have a different level of education. I am in the master's club. A lot are in the master's club. It just puts you in a higher educated plateau where you can have a different level of conversations and you understand things on a higher level. I think that's why I have such a difficult time dealing with people, because they don't have a master's degree and they are incompetent and they're doing jobs, and I'm just questioning like what they're doing, and it just has me like, okay, I don't even know why you're talking to me, because clearly you're stupid. Like, I have to stop thinking that, but I can't help it, because like the things that come out of people's mouths when they say they say words incorrectly and they don't know how to speak, and they say ain't and that and duh, and they just talk inappropriately, or they talk ignorant, and they don't know what they're talking about. Or someone wants to give me a speech about the Constitution of the United States of America, telling me that freedom of speech isn't one of our rights. Like, you can have freedom of speech, but you can't say certain things. No, I can say whatever the fuck I want. It's in the Constitution of the United States of America. The only people that don't understand the Constitution of the United States of America aren't from the United States of America. I'm just going to say that, okay? Fuck off. Don't tell me about the United States of America, because I'm American. There's that. Like, that's what I mean by people not being able to have a conversation with you. Because I could talk about that, I could talk about teacups, and I could talk about anything else. I could definitely talk to you about the problem with education, and I could definitely talk to you about the problem with the economy, the housing crisis, and everything happening. And there's a lot of others that don't want to talk about the news, don't want to deal with the fact that there is a serious problem with race in America, and they don't want to deal with the fact that the world hates America. They like to deny reality. And that's not me. So yes, I'm in the master's club, and unless you have a master's degree, you're not in it either. Stay in your lane, because you're going to get showed up. And I do not have a problem putting people exactly where they need to be, in the same lane as a high school graduate. If you can't have a cognitive conversation, then it's like you're a third grader, and that's fine. Yes, you can. Like I said at the beginning of the podcast, for people telling you what you can't do, people telling you what you're doing wrong, all these things, who's saying you can't? They should be telling you, yes, you can. Honestly. You have to fight. You have to push forward. You have to believe in yourself. You have to know that you can do anything you set your mind to. Yes, you can. Let's get into watching things with Star Wars talk. The end of You was crazy, but it was entertaining. He's totally insane. I didn't know how he was going to get out of this one, but he figured it out, as he always does. Mystic Quest, I still haven't finished this season of it. Florida Man, that looks pretty good on Netflix. Love is Blind season 4. I'm only on episode 2 of that. I don't know about this, y'all. I'm trying to watch it, but I don't. There's something about it where I'm just like, I don't know. Obsession, that's on Netflix. Looks good. Lights Out. Red Rose, I haven't started that either, but I added that to my watch list. Bad Batch and Rennervations. That's on the list of things for me to watch right now. We'll see what I get to first. I still haven't finished watching Love is Blind, but I'm going to try to. Keto chicken fries. And I know you're like, what? Yes. So you chop up like a chicken tenderloin with some fries. What? Maybe you could try to get like the carb-free fries. And then you add cheese and jalapenos and bacon and all these things and ranch. And you put them in the oven and you let them cook and you take them out and everything's cheesy and good and delicious and you eat it. Love it. I want to make those now. Factor ads. I keep getting ads for Factor. Is it because I ordered it? I want to have Factor, but do I want to spend $70 a week on it? That's what has me hesitant. Like, I don't know if I want to do that. Like, maybe, but I feel like all these food services are not doing as good of a job as they could. And I could just make food myself. Honestly, I'm going back to just eating ramen and shoving things in it and having that just be my lunch because it's quick, simple, and easy and it doesn't take a long time. Low carb chili. And I know you're thinking, what? Yeah, low carb chili. You're doing spicy Italian sausage, ground beef, mix that up, add onions. After that, add green peppers, red peppers, orange peppers, red beans, black beans, chili. Mix that. Then add the cheese. Then add the hot sauce. Then add the jalapenos. Mix that. On the side, you're going to want to make some basmati rice. Make sure that that's cooked correctly, not watery. Put that to the side. Cook that for a little bit of time. I'd say a couple hours. Turn it off. Boom. You got a meal. You could eat that for 1 meal, 2 meals, 3 meals, even a week. You could even have that for a meal prep. It tastes good any time of the year. It doesn't just have to be the fall. It could definitely be summer too. And chili is always good. You could also make a chili dog. You could make a chili burger. You could have chili chicken. You could really put chili on anything. What can't you put chili on? I don't know, because I would eat it with everything. Chili is really good. Breakfast nachos. How do you make breakfast nachos? Well, first of all, you're going to make your chips from scratch with your fingers. You're going to take cheese. You're going to take a muffin rack. You're going to put the cheese in the muffin rack. You're going to put that in the oven. Give it 7 minutes. Flip it over. 5 more minutes. Then you've made your tortillas. Then you're going to take those, place those in the oven. You're going to make ground beef or chicken. Add in both ground beef or chicken. Then you're going to add cheese. Then you're going to add jalapenos. Then if you want, you can add beans. Then you're going to add some sort of salsa or queso. Boom. The cheese. Let's do it. That is your carb-free breakfast nachos. And it's breakfast nachos. So you're going to want to add in some eggs, some bacon. Put that in the oven. Let that mellow out and get all flavorful and ooey gooey, cheesy and eggy. Who doesn't want that for breakfast? I want it for breakfast. Let's go. Honestly, it sounds delicious, right? Spinach, parm, zucchini. And I know you're like, what is that? So you get zucchinis, you clean out the zucchinis, you put them in a dish, do the non-stick spray first, then put the zucchinis in, make sure you wash the zucchinis out. Then you get some spinach and some cheese. And I would add chicken too. You can even make a pesto sauce if you've got a blend jet or the other mixer. I bought my mom one. I can't remember the name of it. Mix that up. So to make the parm, you're going to do the pesto. You're going to do spinach. You're going to do Romano leathers. You're going to do a green pepper and you're going to do a little bit of a jalapeno because you want a little bit of spice. A little bit of water, not a lot. Mix that up. I also add in some olive oil for a little bit of movement. Put that to the side. In the zucchini, you're going to put the chicken, right? So you're chopping up the chicken. You're just doing a little bit of a skillet swoop. You're not cooking it completely. Add that in. Then do the cheese. Then do the spinach. You want to wash the spinach out. Then you're going to do the pesto. Then you're going to do more cheese. You're going to put that in the oven anywhere from, I'd say, 10 to 20 minutes. You want the zucchinis to be a different shade, like a darker shade of green when they come out. And you just made it like a zucchini boats, but you made it parm. Also, after that, you take Parmesan cheese and you pour that on top of it, and it is delicious. I saw the video on Pinterest, and who doesn't want to eat that? I know I do. It looks really good. And it was zucchini noodles. So you could either do the actual zucchini, or you can make zoodles if you want. I don't know. Maybe I'd make zoodles, or maybe I'd do the boat thing that I said to you. It's really any option you want. Shrimp scampi, no carbs. So you do shrimp, you do the sauce, you do the scampi, you mix it, you eat it. Simple. One pan cooking, let's go. Add that on top of rice, cauliflower rice, because we're cutting out the carbs here, man. Soy garlic wings. I saw how to do this. It looks good. You take the wings, you clean them, you dry them, you make your soy garlic sauce with soy sauce and garlic. You take the garlic, you cook it up, you add it with the soy sauce. You can add in like any type of pepper sauce you want to. I would add a little bit of sweet and sour sauce into that. Put that to the side. Take the wings, right? Put them in the air fryer. You could do 8 to 12. Put them in the air fryer till they're like crispy. Take them out, bathe them in that sauce, then put them back in there, add jalapenos around them. Right, because biological men and biological women are different. That is a fact. That is the science, which the left loves to hail when it's convenient for their agenda. That was such a powerful interview you had, Harris, because when I think about topics like this, I didn't play D1 college sports, Riley Gaines did, and I think about these women, and to hear directly from her in this moment was really powerful. And to that point, rather than me giving my opinion on this, my sister was a D1 athlete, Brian. Honestly, the wings looked very good. They look very flavorful, and I can't wait to try them. I think me and Skip are going to try to make these ourselves, and we'll tell you how they go. It is the end of the pod. Thank you for tuning in to Born to Be a Star. And I'll see you tomorrow on Friday, a.k.a. Friday. We have the day off today, and I got the day off tomorrow. Going to enjoy the weather and enjoy some time with him, since we barely ever get time together. When you have a career that takes up the majority of your time, it's nice to have a little break away. I will see you guys tomorrow. Thank you for tuning into this Thursday edition of wrong thing. Born to Be a Star. And I will see you tomorrow on Friday, a.k.a. Friday, a.k.a. I don't have to work this weekend. Yay. I'll see you guys tomorrow. Don't forget you're a star wherever you are. Remember your star power. Remember that you are the light in the darkness. See you tomorrow.